Hello, everyone, and welcome to the LeadHer Lounge. I'm Taylor Miller-Goulet.
And I'm Erica Rivera, and this is the space where modern leaders come for fresh and practical takes on leadership. Welcome!
So today we wanted to talk to everyone about recognition and motivation. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions sometimes that leaders have regarding those two topics is that everyone can be motivated and everyone can be recognized in the same exact way, and the outcome is going to be the same, which is very far from the truth.
Yes.
People are so unique and different, and people like to be communicated to in a different way. People like to be recognized in a different way. The thing that might motivate Erica is going to be very different than the thing that will motivate me. So it's very important to understand how everybody on your team, how your employees, even your coworkers, like to be motivated.
How we can do that with the love languages of appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
So in the workplace. So there is a book that talks about the love languages,
Mm-hmm.
the different love languages. And there is a way that you can adapt this at work.
Yes.
And that's the best way that actually we found as well, that it goes very well with our teams.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually have an online package where we dive into this, and we're going to share resources at the end from that online
Mm-hmm.
package. But we talk about the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace. And the first one is
words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Okay. So I think that one is one of my favorite ones, to be honest. I think it's the easiest one, but I think people really underestimate.
I agree.
The power of words of affirmation. Just letting people know that they're doing a great job. That the efforts are being seen, that they have been improving so much. Like, those words are so valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes leaders, because and we can dive into this later on, but as leaders, we are more intrinsically motivated, meaning that we don't need a lot of words of affirmation sometimes, just because we are it comes from inside, from
Mm-hmm.
our purpose, our why, our goals. That's why we do things. But our team members are different. That's why you're the leader and they're not, right? They like to hear those words from you, especially from you, from anybody, but from you, from their leader. It's so important.
Yeah. And I think, too, being very timely with those, and which I think we'll talk about in a little bit too, because all of these really need to be timely. But if someone is really doing a fantastic job, don't wait until the end of their project or the end of whatever it is. Tell them right then and there. Keep that energy and keep that, like, boost their brain the happy brain chemicals, their serotonin, their oxytocin. Boost those and keep them motivated. Like, hey, you're doing an amazing job. Keep up the great work. I can't wait to see what the finished product is, or can't wait to see you exceed your sales goal, whatever it looks like. Do it in the moment, because
Mm-hmm.
when you're feeling that appreciation, it's going to be way more genuine, instead of just like, oh, you're doing a good job. It's, no, you're really kicking this out. Like, you're knocking it out of the park. Like, you are doing such a fantastic job. Please keep up the great work.
But be intentional and real. They will know when you're just like faking those words.
Mm-hmm.
So be intentional and use them in general, because they are very valuable.
I think they do differ as we go through them. You'll probably see that there's some that you prefer at work and some that you might prefer in your personal life.
Yes.
In my personal life, I'm a words of affirmation person. I love it. But at work, I don't need it as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's like what you said, like, I'm very intrinsically motivated already, so it's different for me. But
that is true. It is different
Mm-hmm.
in what you like in your personal life. Start thinking what you like too.
Yeah, think about these. So are you a words of affirmation person? Or are you a quality time person, which is the next one that's on the list? And as a leader, it's so valuable. I think
Good transition. You did so good.
Thank you.
Transition.
Words of affirmation. And we're also spending some quality time together.
Yes.
I love quality time. And I think that this one, a lot of these can also be, this one's too, underestimated. Like, just giving someone your ear, like, 5 minutes to listen to what they have to say, or going up to someone and just asking like, hey, do you want to spend some time? You want to get coffee together? Just for fun. And you don't have to always keep things about work. Yeah, obviously work is important. You have to get your job done, but that relationship and spending time with someone is so valuable. I love spending time with the people that I'm working with, and not, I mean, it doesn't have to be, let's talk about this project and let's, prioritize things and blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, no, how was your weekend? How was that wedding that you went to? How is your son doing with soccer? It's those kinds of things mean so much. And that's when you can start to really build that, what we call relationship capital. We'll talk about that again soon. But you build that relationship capital by remembering those little things and just spending a little bit more time with people.
Yes. I see quality time for me as well when I was a leader, to really talk about their goals and what they wanted in with the company, or even their personal goals. I feel like the best way to motivate sometimes people is by learning their goals and like utilizing those to get them going, right? Like, think about the house that you want to buy. Think about this new project or new hobby that you want to start. I don't know, like, learning quality time is, yes, about listening about the things that they like, but no one really talks about goals. Like, ask yourself, when was the last time somebody asked you, oh, tell me your goals. Like, how can I help you to achieve? What can I do to help you achieve those goals? Let me know what I can do. And I hope it wasn't a long time ago. I hope, honestly, but it doesn't happen that often. We don't have that culture of like asking everybody for their goals, right? So that's part of that quality time, just learning about the goals and see how you can help them, even if it's just like anything, like helping them with the structure, or just like helping them writing those goals down. I mean, it's hard for you to help them to buy a house, but like you can create a system for them as well.
So what you're saying honestly reminds me of acts of service, which is another of these love languages or languages of appreciation. Because when you're helping someone achieve their goal, you're providing some kind of service to them, and you're offering your time and your expertise to help them achieve something. So there's tons of other ways to do acts of service as well.
Think about the things that you can do with your team members, that it's taking, again, something from their plate, or that you're going to the second building. I don't know what you're doing right now, of course, in your industry, but like, I'm going upstairs. Do you need anything from there? Just like offering help, offering support. Like, I think that's the acts of service, how it translates.
Yeah, going above and beyond.
Yeah, the extra mile, the extra mile of doing something, like an action, more than like the tangible part that we're gonna talk. It's like doing something for that person.
And it could be tangible gifts. It can also tie into tangible gifts, which is the fourth love language, or language of appreciation. So yeah, purchasing gifts for someone, or bringing something to someone when they didn't necessarily ask for it. That's kind of where acts of service and that tie in together. Like, hey, I really know that you're overwhelmed and you're stressed out. You don't have time to get yourself a coffee. Let me buy you a coffee. The coffee is a tangible gift, but the act of going above and beyond is the
act of service.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be something expensive. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be something small. But for example, if I know that my team member doesn't like sugar, and I get something savory, it can be something, again, very, very small, and I get that for them. The fact that they knew that I knew that they didn't like something with sugar, and I got something different because I know them, listen to them intentionally, it's already something very special, because they're like, they remember that I like bread, or instead of donuts. I don't like donuts. So when people is like, I know you don't like donuts, and I got everybody donuts by you, I got you a bagel.
I do not care that you don't like donuts.
I know.
That was cheesy. We might cut that one out. Okay.
So, like, I think that is special.
It is. And even just the thought that someone thought about me. Because I've received gifts where it's not something I would pick out for myself, of course, but it's just like, this was so thoughtful. The fact that you even thought to get me something. You were thinking of me in that moment, and you're like, I'm going to buy this for that person, or I'm going to grab this and bring it in for them. I think they'd really like it. is so meaningful.
Yes.
It's such a,
Like any gift is amazing, but if it's an intentional gift, something
It's
that
even
you
more
know,
special.
yes,
Yes.
it's even better. So go that extra mile again.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
And the last one that we'll talk about is physical touch.
Which is my favorite one
She loves hugs.
in my personal life. Yes.
She's a snuggler.
Yes.
But we have to be very mindful, obviously, at work with physical touch. But honestly, it's something as friendly as a little hug, a high five, a fist bump. Like, keep it. I won't leave you hanging on that one.
Yes.
But yeah, a physical touch doesn't have to be something very intimate. It just is like a pat on the back, a great job, like a hug because I'm so proud of what you've accomplished. And I think that that's probably the less common one a lot of times, especially at work, but it can still be very meaningful to people. And it's still important to know what your people like, because I know Erica loves hugs and I will hug her all the time because I'm so proud of her and all of the things that she accomplishes and the things that she does. So
yes,
but I know that motivates you.
Yeah, but it's important to know when people really don't like. That's when we talk about demotivating someone, because I used to have a team member, she didn't like to be touched at all. I could feel like she right way. So knowing those things are so important. Like, and it's hard to know those things. Some people are very private, and that's fair. This is something hard to understand, but you really need to be social aware. So as soon as I did something like that and I felt that she was a little bit stiff, right away I learned that she didn't like to be touched with other people as well, that when somebody was close to her, she was kind of like uncomfortable. So you need to be social aware. You need to be social aware of what your team members like or dislike, and that is by observing, listening, talking to them. You can acquire all those different, like, that information.
100%. And I think you got to be very mindful too, because we were talking about like words of affirmation and things like that. If you have to do these things in the right way, because if you are giving someone the wrong gift, tangible gift, if you are hugging someone, they'd rather have a high five. If you're shouting someone out in front of a bunch of people, but they would rather have a handwritten note that just says, I appreciate your time, because being called out in public embarrasses them, you can still demotivate them by doing it the wrong way, even if it's their preferred language. So being very mindful and asking those questions of, hey, you can even do a questionnaire. Well, actually, I think we're going to upload and share like this, the 5 languages of workplace appreciation quiz. It's a mouthful.
So you can do it with your team.
Yeah. So do this with your teams and see how they like to be motivated and what items on that list, because it'll be like a little quiz. What items do they prefer over others?
Yes. And if you do that, you need to act on them. Like, you need to do something about it. It's not like I quiz them, I learn about what they like, what they don't like, and then I don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like we're not asking you to spend a lot of money. Some of those things don't require to spend money, but it requires effort. Leadership requires effort. So if you're doing them, like, make sure that you write down all this information and you kind of like digest, and you can take action and do something about it. Yes, because it's different. You're different. Maybe you don't like to be motivated in these ways. You don't need motivation at all, but that's why you're the leader. You're different. You're unique, because we are leaders and we like to be motivated.
Yes, we do.
But like, they're different, and just learn about them and try your best, because maybe you're the only person right now motivating them. Asking them about their goals, offering some help. So maybe you're the only person in their lives. And I know that is like a lot of maybe pressure for you.
but true.
If we're leaders, we are taking on that responsibility at the first moment, the moment that you say, yes, I'm going to be a leader in this team. So let's do it. Like, let's work on those things and learn about our people.
Yes. And when you do that, let us know in the comments how it goes. You guys should be doing the quiz. I would love for you to do the quiz. Let us know how it goes in the comments. And let us know what your preferred love language is, or workplace appreciation language, in the comments below too. And I think That is all that we have for today.
Yes.
So if you liked the content that you had today, please be sure to share it with someone. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so you can continue to get some more content from us here at the LeadHer Lounge.
See you next week, leaders.